What is up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. In this video, I'll be going over my 3 best NBA player props as well as all my leans in today's slate. We are on an absolute heater like always, so before we get to the picks, if you guys are new to the channel, every time we sweep, I'm giving away 2 weeks of free VIP and $25 to someone who likes the video, subscribes to the channel, and leaves a comment below. But let's just jump into the recap real quick. So jumping into my last free pick video, unfortunately both of my main free picks call out. Onyeka Okongwu and Ty Jerome do not play, but we absolutely cooked on the lean section again. We hit on Tyrese Maxey over his PRA, we hit on Miles Turner over his 3-pointers made, and Josh Giddey has another phenomenal game, gets a triple-double. But you guys can take a look. Since both of my free picks called out, I also posted 2 bonus free props for you guys. So make sure, by the way, hop on the winnable free plan if you guys aren't already, because in scenarios like this, I post free props on the winnable free plan, or whenever I'm like sick, or my spring break is over, so I'm going back to university, and I'm probably gonna be busy some days and won't be able to post. So yeah, make sure to hop on. But you guys can take a look. Gave you guys these 2 bonus props. Moussa Diabate sweat free, goes over his points. Naz Reid has a horrific shooting night. He shoots 3 for 15. Even with all that usage rate he had in that game, he just shot so bad. It was absolutely diabolical. So yeah, in the VIP side, you guys can take a look. We are up 48 plus units this month. My $50 bettors are up $2,400 in the VIP group. If you guys take a look, you guys can see here. Like I mentioned, guys, I didn't have much volume today because, my main picks got ruled out. You guys can see Ty Jerome was one of my anchors, and yeah, you guys can see Jalen Duren was absolutely sweat free on the under, but yeah, Ty Jerome does not play. So yeah, you guys can also see this play right here. Diabate drops 10 points. Henderson goes 0 for 4 again, so we miss on this one. I also had this play right here. Naz Reid, like I mentioned, horrific shooting night. Cedric Howard goes over. We cashed his tennis play, ex NBA. Yeah, I didn't have much plays today, but this slate is absolutely huge. So many lines to exploit. So if you guys are interested in the VIP group, this is the Discord where we post our plays, as well as plays sent directly to your phone through the Winnable. You guys can see just the wins from our VIP members here. Our VIP members are just absolutely cashing out. So if you guys are interested, I have linked the Winnable in the pinned comment in the description. You guys can currently claim a free trial. I have just restocked, so make sure to take advantage if you guys are interested before it sells out, because it always sells out very quick. But let's just jump into today's free picks. So jumping into my first free pick, guys, I'm taking Brandon Ingram over 21.5 points. So jumping into Props Madness, guys, the best research tool on the market for researching your NBA player props. If you guys are interested in this tool, you guys can use code BankrollBrian for 25% off. Link will also be in the pinned comment in the description. So Brandon Ingram here, I'm taking his points over 21.5. If it gets bumped, I definitely, it's still valid for sure over 22.5. But you guys can take a look. Brandon Ingram, he's under in 5 consecutive games. But now he faces a fantastic matchup against this Magic defense. I actually love taking Magic players against the Magic. Like you guys can see DeRozan last time, absolutely sweat free. And I'm hoping Brandon Ingram can do the same thing. If you guys take a look, this Magic defense allows the second most points to his dominant shooting zone, which is the mid-range. He scores 29% of his points from there. They're also the worst pull-up defense, or the second worst pull-up defense in the league, which is how he scores 45% of his points. You guys can look at similar player points versus the Magic. 5 out of 5 similar players to Ingram. We got Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, have gone over their lines, averaging 38% more points. And if you guys look at his play type analysis, transition, spot up, free throws, pick and roll, isolation, off screen, the Magic just are below average against his play types. So this is a very great matchup for Brandon Ingram to bounce back here. And quickly, is also still out, and that's going to lead to more usage for Brandon Ingram. He's also at home. If you guys look at his home splits versus away splits, at home, he averages 22.4 points versus his away games, where he's averaging 19.6 points. And head to head, he went over in his last matchup, dropping 35 points. This game right here, Holy had 17 points, but he shot 32% of the field, and I love his volume. He's taken 22 shots and 23 shots in both matchups this season against the Magic. I really love the volume. So that's going to be my first pick, guys. I'm taking Brandon Ingram over 21.5 points. Jumping to my second pick, I'm taking Darius Garland over 18.5 points. So Darius Garland here, I'm taking his points over 18.5. So Darius Garland here, he's been absolutely cooking. He's over in 8 out of his last 10 games, averaging 23.8 points. Now he faces a Bucks defense that allowed the second most points to his dominant shooting zone, which is above the break 3. And they allowed the 8th most points to guards. If you guys take a look, over the season, this Bucks defense actually, they do guard pull-ups and less than 10 feet really well, which accounts for a lot of Darius Garland's points. They're also pretty good at defending the pick and roll and transition. However, if you guys look at opponent rankings, recently this Bucks team has fallen off a cliff. They're absolutely just terrible defensively overall, like terrible. Click last 10 here. You guys can see now they're one of the worst teams from pull-ups, and they're one of the worst teams from catch and shoot. So I really love this data here. Garland's usage rate is absolutely through the roof. I mean, if you guys can take a look over his past couple of games, 28% usage, 31% usage, 26% usage, 35% usage. This man is going to get the volume. And I know, there's huge blowout risk for sure. In fact, this probably is going to be another blowout. But, I think it's going to be a blowout, but not as massive as the previous encounter. If you guys take a look, he literally only played 18 minutes, guys. And only shot the ball 7 times because the game was over by halftime. I think if this game is not a massive blowout, but still a blowout, he can cash this line easily in 25 plus minutes. So you guys can see Props Madness projects him to play 25 to 35 plus minutes. Even if he gets less than 30, I see him cashing this line. So that's going to be my second pick in this play. My final pick is going to be Josh Hart over 18.5 points plus rebounds. So Josh Hart is facing OKC. So if you guys take a look, Josh Hart is over in his last 10 games, 8 out of his last 10 games, if you guys take a look here, averaging 22.5 points plus rebounds. Now he faces OKC, and the main thing for this play is the minutes. As long as this game stays competitive, the spread is only 8.5. Josh Hart is going to see the maximum amount of minutes. If you guys take a look at his previous games, he's playing huge minutes. 39 minutes here, 38 minutes here. Obviously, yeah, guys, blowouts, he's going to play less minutes, 26, 28. But when Josh Hart sees, let's go to his last 20. So when Josh Hart sees 32 plus, we're being conservative here, by the way. 32 plus minutes, he's now over in 16 out of his last 20 games, averaging 23.9 points plus rebounds. I see him playing 35 plus, definitely, if this game stays competitive. So with 35 plus minutes, he's now over in 13 out of his last 15 games, averaging 24.3 points plus rebounds. Now, if you guys just look at the matchup, you guys can see OKC is the second worst spot-up defense, which is how Hart scores 37% of his points. And they're also the second worst catch-and-shoot defense, which is how Hart scores 27% of his points. Guys, Hart is going to get open looks for sure. They're going to be focused on Brunson, OG, other players. And that's how head to head, you guys can take a look here. He's gone over this season. He already dropped 22 PR. By the way, he got injured in this game and only played 25 minutes and still cashed the line. And he's gone over in 5 out of his last 5 head-to-head matchups, averaging 23.2 PR. So, yeah, I love this pick, Josh Hart. Taking my boy, Josh Hart, over 18.5 points plus rebounds. So that's going to be the 3-man play for today. If you guys don't have Chalkboard, you guys can use code BankO'Brien to sign up and tail this play directly on the app. So that's going to be today's free play. Feel free, if you guys don't like any of these picks, or you guys can mix and match, tail the ones you guys like, fade the ones you guys don't like. But we're rocking with this for the sweep. So yeah, before we get to the lean section, if you guys use my code BankO'Brien on Chalkboard, like I mentioned, or any of my affiliate apps such as Dabble, Parlay Play, Sleeper, you guys can claim a free month of VIP. Normally VIP is $35 a month, but you guys can join right now, no risk, no commitment. If you guys don't like it afterwards, you guys can just cancel. All you gotta do is text me a screenshot when you guys deposit with my code, and I'll hook you up with 30 days of free VIP. You guys can also claim 5 days of free VIP if you guys use code BankO'Brien on Picket. Just do the same thing, text me a screenshot at this number. Also, make sure to link a sportsbook, and I'll hook you up with 5 days of free VIP. Really recommend getting Picket, by the way, because it tracks all your bets, holds you accountable, and really, just if you want to take sports betting seriously, you really gotta get Picket for sure. You guys can see, taking a look at my Picket, last year in the NBA went up 284 units of profit. This year we're looking good on track to break 300 for sure. So yeah, but let's just jump into the lean section. So jumping into the lean section, guys, a pick I was looking at was a Men Thompson over 18.5 points. Hard Rock still has him at 17.5, which is, the hit rate improves a bit, but let's just look at 18.5 here. So he's over in 6 out of his last 10 games. Now he faces the Pelicans. You guys know the Pelicans, one of the worst defenses in the league. You guys can see, allows the second most points to his position, third most points to his dominant player type, which is transition, and the second worst defense in the restricted area. Also lenses in 10 feet, bottom 10 defense from that shot type. So you guys can take a look. He gets another brilliant matchup to keep cooking, and you guys can see in head-to-head, he's gone over in 3 straight head-to-head matchups in the Pelicans, averaging 22 points. So this pick looks pretty solid for sure. Another pick I was looking at in the same game was, if you guys take a look, is DeJounte Murray. I'm liking DeJounte Murray over his PR at 20.5. So he is questionable. You guys can see he is under in 3 consecutive games, but now he gets another brilliant matchup here against this Rockets team that allowed the 9th most points to the pick and roll and the 2nd most points to the paint, which is how he scores 30% of his points. And you guys can see his usage rate on this team is absolutely massive. He's averaging a 27% usage rate for this season. What that means, guys, by the way, is, excuse me. Yeah, what that means, guys, is the ball is just in his hands a ton, and the offense just run through him, and he's going to take a ton of shots. And you guys can see, he's in his last 3 games, he's just been shooting the ball very poorly. But against this matchup, I definitely see him, 21 PR is definitely doable. And head-to-head, he already dropped 42 points plus rebounds against this team. So, DeJounte Murray looks pretty solid for sure. In this Wizards-Blazers game, I was looking at Jrue Holiday. I think this line might be too high at 29.5. So if you guys look at his last 10 games, he's only over in 2 of his last 10, averaging 23 PRA. Now he faces a Wizards team that has huge blowout risk. Look at the spread, 16 point spread. So I don't think Jrue Holiday is going to see full minutes in this game. So when Jrue Holiday sees less than let's just do 32. I don't think he's gonna see max minutes, so let's do 32 minutes. He's now only over in 5 of his last 20 games, averaging 25.8 PRA. And now, keep in mind, Jeremy Grant is out. Shaden Sharpie has been out, but if you guys take out if you guys take out Jeremy Grant, he's actually under in every single game without Jeremy Grant. So, yeah, I was liking the under on Drew Holiday PRA. Any other picks I was looking at? Let me see. Another pick I was looking at here, it was Peyton Watson over 12.5 points. So you guys can take a look here. He's over in 18 of his last 21 games. Now, obviously, that's skewed, with the injuries earlier in the season. We now got a fully healthy, fully healthy Nuggets team. But, Peyton Watson has just improved tremendously offensively. And, take a look at his usage rate, guys. His usage rate from returning from injury is absolutely through the roof still. 29% usage rate, 22% usage rate, 30% usage rate. So Peyton Watson, he's still handling the ball a ton. He's still getting the looks, the shot opportunities. This game right here against the Jazz, he just shot terrible from the field. He went 20%, shot 2 from 10. And now he faces a Warriors defense. I definitely think Peyton Watson can get 13 points here. Did he already play the Warriors this season already? But yeah, he played them earlier in the season where, obviously he did not, before he was a new role with, Jokic being injured and he stepped up. So I definitely think Peyton Watson can drop 13 points. Any other picks I was looking at? Probably not, guys. Gonna be researching more in the VIP side. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and peace.